MjxR Show, and this is the UDI U818A-1 Discovery Quadcopter. This is the new updated version with the HD camera on the bottom. This does 1080 by 720 at 30 frames per second. Look how tiny that thing is. And the quality coming from this tiny little camera right here is actually pretty decent, considering you're getting all of this, including the quadcopter, for a very affordable price. Right there, I just did a little drop test. Let's talk about that. This thing is very durable. It's made from this bendable plastic, very bendable. It can take, if it crashes into something, it protects the the controls and everything that's basically stored underneath this little plastic compartment here, and it does a good job. I've crashed this several times, and actually when you're up high in the air and you just lay off the stick, this thing does kind of like drifts down to the bottom, and it does a really good job, so that way it will minimize the impact. And this is basically what it looks like after I've wrecked it a few times. You can see maybe a few scuffs right here on this propeller here, but other than that, I mean, it still looks brand new and it still flies like new. Now the UDI does come with 2 batteries. That's pretty nice, and it comes with a pretty slick charger here. It will charge both batteries at the same time. Now each of these batteries is 500 milliamp hours at 3.7 volts, and you'll get about 6 to 9 minutes of fly time, just depending on what mode you're in, if you're doing a bunch of flips, if you're recording, and things like that. But it's nice they include both those, and here I'll just show you the charging and how that works real quick. You'll see we have both 2 red lights indicating there, and then we can plug in the LiPo, and you'll see that one of the lights went off, and I can plug the other one into the bottom here, and this light should go off as well. Let me go make sure I have this in the right way. There you go. So once these are fully charged, which will take about an hour, maybe a little bit longer, then these will both turn red, and that just indicates that they're both fully charged. Now this also does come with a 2 GB SD card, and we have this little SD card reader here, so you can record from this, plug it into the SD card, and plug that directly into your computer. They even include a little screwdriver, so you can change the props or whatnot, and also get the screw here off the transmitter. It takes 4 AA batteries, which are not included, but they include 4 extra propellers, and that's basically it. Everything you need you have right out of the box except for 4 AA's, and you're ready to fly. So let's just go ahead. I'll show you how this works. We'll have a look around the quadcopter here a little bit more. On the bottom is where you would put in the battery, and it would connect right there. Now the camera, I think you can remove it. It's probably screwed down here, but honestly it's so solid you really don't need to worry about removing that or not. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'll turn on the transmitter here. I do want to show you some of the lights on this quad, because it has kind of like a built-in flashlight on the front, which is reasonably bright considering how small it is. Let me go ahead and get this thing plugged in here. There we go. Okay, so now I'm paired, but obviously the thing's upside down, but I wanted to show you that light there on front. That light, you can fly, you can turn that light on or off. If we look here on the transmitter, we have a place to turn the light on and off. I believe it is the, nope, that's the flip mode. It is the right trigger. So if we push the right trigger, we can turn that light on and off. Pretty sweet. But anyway, we do have these. We have blue lights and red lights. Those are nice. You can see those at night. pretty easily. And like I said, on the camera, we have on the transmitter, we have a video camera button and a photo button. So to take a video, we would just push down that video card and this will start flashing red. But right now there's no SD card. Let me go ahead and grab an SD card to put in there. Okay, so the SD card just goes and slides in right here on the side. You'll see it green, and when you record, this will turn red. So I'm recording now, and I'll stop video, just push that, and it turns back green. And it's nice on this transmitter too, because when you start video, it actually has the video button that you can confirm that you're still recording video when you're flying. And for taking the picture, you would just push once and it will just flash just like that. Now we do have two different modes on this. We have a high and a low, and we can go through that. It's a mode 1 and a mode 2. Mode 1 is more, it's kind of like smoother flying, maybe for beginners or whatnot. And then mode 2 would be, it's more aggressive and you can kind of fly, have more control and things like that. But besides that, we do have a built-in flip function. To do a flip, you just have to be up off the ground. You'll hit the left trigger. It'll start beeping like that, and then you push the directional pad whatever way you want it to flip. So that's a basic look at the controls. And for flying, this thing flies pretty good. It's got a range of about 100 feet, and the camera on this, like I said, does a good job at being stable. There's not that fluttery real bad to where it's shaking like this to where the camera displays and it just looks horrible. Yes, this might be flying like this direction or this direction or this direction, but the footage you're getting from the camera it's not all choppy, but you'll see that here from the video examples here in just one second. But the last thing I want to talk about is when you're flying this is a rather light quadcopter. In the wind, you definitely, I mean, just from the design of the shell, it can get caught with the wind and kind of get pushed away or whatnot. So a non-windy day would be best for this. And this thing does fly pretty aggressive, and it soars. It almost reminds me kind of an airplane, because when it's going from left and right and forward, it has more of that airplane. And when I'm kind of coming in towards the ground and want to level it off, I'll have to do more play with like the throttle just to make sure that I get it to level out before, so I can go back up. But with all that being said, let's just go out and do some flying.